Hello, my lovelies. Our discussion today will be talking about how spousal infidelity affects the mental health of unemployed women in Nigeria and ways to support them. First, we'll be defining infidelity, which is a violation of the expected exclusivity in an intimate relationship. This unfortunately common in many marriages around the world. However, in Nigeria, cultural norms sometimes tolerate or even normalize male infidelity, often excusing it as a man's nature or blaming the woman for failing to satisfy her husband. However, this particular topic of blaming to satisfy her husband will be another topic on its own for another day, because when it comes to satisfying a man or a woman their sexual needs, women has a lot to say about it. I'm not about to break this table now. It will be a discussion for another day. So, however, this cultural biases places women in an emotionally vulnerable position, especially when they are unemployed and financially dependent on their spouses. In Nigerian society, where traditional rules and economic dependency still shapes many households, the emotional well-being of women, especially those without employment, is often precariously tied to the state of their marriage. For unemployed women who depend financially on their husbands, discovering spousal infidelity can be a life-altering event with serious mental health consequences. The psychological distress, the social stigma, and the powerlessness they experience often go unacknowledged, leaving them in a very vulnerable state. I will explore more on how spousal infidelity affects mental health of unemployed women in Nigeria, and also I will suggest key support solutions such as emotional and mental health services and economic empowerment programs. So now we'll talk about mental health effects on spousal infidelity on unemployed women. Spousal infidelity can be traumatic for anyone. It can be traumatic even for people that are employed, even for women that are employed, that are financially stable. Not to talk of women that are not financially stable. But its effects are magnified in situations where a woman has little to no financial independence. In many Nigerian households, men are the primary breadwinners and women are often stay-at-home mothers or homemakers. Yes, in our culture, that's the way it is. That's mostly the role women play. However, things are changing, but that would not still be ignored that most women still stay at home, are called the homemakers. When a woman is financially dependent and her husband is unfaithful, she may not have the option to leave or even speak out. This sense of powerlessness can severely affect her mentally and emotionally. It can affect her mental health and her emotional health as well. So let's talk about depression and hopelessness. Many unemployed women who are cheated on by their husband fall into the deep depression. They may feel worthless, abandoned, and incapable of moving forward. Yes, this is the type of betrayal. This type of betrayal is not only emotional but can feel with a complete loss of identity, especially in cultures where marriage is seen as a woman's primary role or achievement. Yes, where we come from. Is more people see marriages, more where we come from. Is more people see marriages more as an achievement. When they feel stuck, unable to live due to financial constraints, hopelessness sets in. Yes. This can lead to symptoms such as persistent sadness, fatigue, loss of interest in daily activities, and when you have loss of interest in daily activities, you are heading to depression, and even suicidal thoughts in extreme cases. The second point we'll be talking on will be anxiety and constant worry. Fear about the future is another major mental health concern a woman without a job or income may ask herself. How will I survive if he leaves? A lot of Nigerian women ask these questions. How do I survive if he leaves or if I leave? What will happen to my children? These unanswered questions lead to chronic anxiety, the daily uncertainty about her stability, security, social status becomes mentally exhausting. This anxiety can manifest physically in form of headaches, insomnia, heart palpitations, and loss of appetite. The third point will be low self-esteem and self-blame. Unemployed women often derive a significant part of their self-worth from their roles as wife and mothers. When spousal infidelity occurs, they may internalize the betrayal and start to question their value. 100%. Everybody will, even those that are working, not to talk of unemployed women in marriages. Some may even blame themselves for their partner's behavior, thinking they're not attractive. 100%, especially those that have gained a lot of weight, those that have lost their self in between. Probably before you got married, yeah, that cheeky girl that dresses well, that look after yourself, but you've lost all those things in between. So they start thinking they're not attracted or not capable enough. Over time, this can erode their personal or self-esteem, making it difficult to take any step towards healing or independence. The fourth point is emotional isolation and social stigma. Cultural norm in Nigeria often encourage women to endure marital problems in silence to keep the family together. As a result, many women do not feel safe discussing their husband's infidelity with others. There's a very strong stigma around safe discussing their husband's infidelity with others. There's a very strong stigma around marriages, and a woman who speaks out risks being judged or ostracized. This silence leads to emotional isolation, further worsening mental health without an outlet to express their pain. Many women suffer in silence, feeling emotionally abandoned and mentally drained. 100%. So the solutions that can be offered in this case, I'll be talking about two key solutions. So to help unemployed women in Nigeria facing mental health consequences due to spousal infidelity, it is essential to provide them with both emotional and practical support. Not just emotional, when I mean practical support that will be very helpful. This includes improving access to mental health services and creating opportunities for financial independence. That's the practical support. We have to create opportunities for financial independence. So the first solution, we'll be speaking about mental health and emotional support services. Addressing the emotional and psychological damage caused by infidelity is crucial for recovery. Unemployed women need space where they can speak freely, feel heard, and receive emotional recovery. Unemployed women need space where they can speak freely, feel heard, and receive emotional guidance necessary to heal. When we talk about that, we talk about access to counsel and therapy. 100%. You definitely will need that to heal. Mental health counseling should be made more available at the community level through hospitals, clinics, religious centers, and NGOs. Trained counselors can help women process the betrayal, confront negative thoughts, and rebuild self-confidence. These services should be affordable or free for unemployed women, because obviously we know they are unemployed and they've got no money. Mobile mental health initiatives or teletherapy service. When I talk about teletherapy service, it's also known as online therapy. It could be e-therapy or cyber counseling. It refers to the provision of mental health services remotely, typically through video conferencing, phone calls, or online platforms. This can also reach women in rural or under-resourced areas. The second one, we'll be talking about the support they need, we'll be talking about support groups. 100% very important. Peer-led support groups can offer emotional relief. Women who come together to share their stories of infidelity and survival often find comfort in knowing they're not alone. This group provide a platform to exchange advice, encourage one another, and develop friendship that reduce the isolation many women feel. Community centers, churches, and women in NGOs like Project Alert or what seers, churches, and women in NGOs like Project Alert or what see Women Advocate Recent Documentation Center facilitate such support group. Another one. So the second solution here will be economic empowerment and financial independency. Why emotionally healing is vital, lasting recovery is difficult without financial independence. Yes, with all this solution, if we don't profess solution on how they're going to be financially stable, financially free, then we've given them little or no help. When a woman has her own income, she has more control over her decisions and future. Empowering women economically gives them the strength to either leave toxic relationship or renegotiate their roles with dignity and confidence. 100%. Let me say that again. It will help them when women are financially empowered or economically empowered. It helps them to leave a toxic relationship or renegotiate their roles with dignity and confidence. With dignity, dignity, and renegotiate their role with dignity and what? Confidence. So one of those help will be vocational training and skill development. Government agencies and NGOs should invest in vocational programs, especially targeted at unemployed and vulnerable women. Skills such as tailoring, hairdressing, catering, soap making, digital marketing, baking can help women start small businesses from home. Programs by SMEDAN, NDE, and other governmental organizations can be expanded to include free training, equipped support, and business mentorship. The second financial support here will be access to microloan and business grants. Financial support in form of microloans or grants can help women start or expand small businesses. Microfinance bank, cooperative, international organizations can offer accessible low-interest loan, formal income. For example, initiative like Market Money and Trade Money under Nigerian Government Enterprise and formal income. For example, initiative like Market Money and Trade Money under Nigerian Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, JIP, provides such opportunities. Then the third financial option will be financial literacy education, because while empowering you, if you're not financially educated on how to manage the money you're going to get, how to take your business to the next level, will be